Hi, Bo here from High Tech Investment, and in this video, I think it's long awaited for a lot of Lumix Bit investors. We actually caught up with the CEO, Nicholas Hartman, while he was in a hotel room in Brisbane, and we took the opportunity to talk a bit about Lumix Bit, so how it all began, what is currently going on, and also what can be expected in the near future, as well as the long-term views. So for Lumix Bit, he answered a lot of these, and let's go and have a look what he says.
Thank you very much, Nicholas, for being here.
Mr. Ball.
I can tell you I looked forward to this very much. So I know we've been speaking before, and just scratching the surface of yourself and Lumix Bit here. So, and I hope to learn a bit more today, and so does obviously the partners around the world I have.
Yeah. You mean the future plans of Lumix Bit company?
Yes, of course. We already have built quite a big partnership here. So with Lumix Bit. So and they are all very, very interested. So. So maybe you can start with maybe telling a bit about yourself, your background to this business.
Okay, I'm a young man. I was born on the 17th of October, 1974. I started my career at SMB Capital, where I worked from 2006 to 2011. I traded bonds, stocks, commodity futures, and derivatives of these assets around the world. There I mastered money management, I studied patented technologies, and I tried my hand in coaching. I mean that I was the coach for newcomers. And there I met a very good team of discretionary and automatic traders. Well, then 2016, first time I invested in cryptocurrencies. And 2018, I came to the idea of invent something very new, because 2018, that was the year when the growth of the world economy was the smallest since economic crisis of 2008. Well, I decided together with my partners to invent the new direction, which couldn't directly influence on the market conditions, but at the same time, it could generate profit regardless of all financial barriers. And that was only one idea, the idea of decentralized assets. Of course, except decentralized assets, we needed and we had the team of professionals, financial analysts, traders, IT specialists, and lawyers. That team can successfully work in the field of quantum trading on the blockchain technologies markets. This team uses quantum calculations. Excuse me. Mm-hmm. Well, that was a very hard day for me. I'm sorry. So Lumix Bit company was founded as a club of very narrow circles. I mean that that was a club of me and my partners, and that club didn't hold official events because confidential information was very important for our partners. Our partners were personalities, private people, and foreign companies. Well, officially, you know that the Lumix Bit company was founded on the 25th of October, 2021.
Yeah, just recently, yeah. So
I'm very talkative.
yeah. No, that's great. We want to we love to hear from you. Yeah. So
next question, please, Mr. Bo.
Yeah. So definitely. I mean, you said you got the idea back in 2018 for Lumix Bit here, yeah.
Right.
So, and that was basically looking into the markets at the time where crypto and everything else was at a turning point, I guess. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So that's quite interesting. So how, I mean, you understand you have a range of partners here also, yeah, that is now has built up Lumix Bit, correct?
Excuse me, I didn't hear the beginning of your question.
You mean no, but I understand you started in 2018 with
Yes.
your partners. So these are private partners. So
Right.
that come in. Okay. So and this all started in trading, or it started in DeFi, or it was basically a combination of both.
Me and my partners, we had earned very good money on the cryptocurrency exchanges. And we decided to found the company which could work for us. That was the idea of Lumix Bit.
Okay. So what does Lumix Bit stand for? Where does the name come from?
That's a very interesting question. Imagine yourself that it consists, in my opinion, of 3 words. The first one, lum. Lum means light in accordance with the Greek language. I mean, the ancient Greek language. Lum means light. Then X, this is the shortened word of exchange. And bit means Bitcoin.
Yeah.
So the full name means the transparency, yeah, something like that.
Yeah. No, I got the last part, but I wasn't quite sure about the first part. Yeah. So interesting to see. So you also told me your partners, and obviously I understand that this is quite a private matter. Yeah. But maybe can you tell me a bit more about the executive team, how you put this together? Who's running this? Because obviously you're busy building the company itself. Yeah.
Well, you know that I'm CEO, I'm Chief Executive Officer. Then there's Jane Merrill. Jane Merrill is CEM, Chief Executive Manager. She's very professional. Honestly saying, she can cope with all kinds of misunderstanding. She likes to work with staff, and the rest of the team consists of traders, financial analysts, lawyers, and IT specialists. At most, those people are freelancers. They work around the world. They're very professional. The first ones started to work with me and my partners since my job at SMB Capital. But I can tell you their personal information, because, you know, this is confidential.
Yeah. Okay, you understand. Last time we spoke here, yeah, you mentioned that you had about 400 employees now in the company, yeah. So
what did I have?
I said last time we spoke, you mentioned that we had about you had about 400 people working in Lumix Bit now. I assume that I've seen how this has changed in the very short period of time that I've been here. So where are you at now?
You mean the number of my staff?
Yes, yeah.
Well, 450.
450. Yeah. So it's growing fast. I mean,
we are growing. The company is growing.
We can see that on the platforms for sure. Yeah. So part of what I also wanted to ask you, because I can see, and obviously part of the due diligence that most people do before they invest, is they have a look into the company, the people behind it. But also I know other people have a certain interest in setting up crypto trading, cryptocurrencies in Australia. How difficult was it actually to get started with this?
You mean how the company was registered?
Yeah. And especially trading cryptocurrency, it's still not mainstream.
Yeah, you're right. Australia, this is a very progressive country in cryptocurrency exchanges. It has a very good jurisdiction, and it has very good taxes for us. We started to work with ASIC. This is Australian Security and Investments Commission, and APRA, Australian Prudential Regulatory Authority. They audited the financial opportunities of our company. Then they registered our capital. We passed all exams. That was a very short period. That was very easy for us, because that's the country, Australia.
Yeah. No, I noticed that a few people take that path. So I was just wondering how easy that is, because other places, you know, people are turning away from crypto. Some countries are moving away, and other ones are
like China. You mean like China? You mean, right?
Like China, for example, and then you have the countries in South Africa that is actually embracing it. So But I've seen before people want to set up exchanges and trade in Australia, and the recent change in leverage also in Australia, is that affecting Lumix Bit, the one that came in? Yeah.
But right now we have negotiations with United Arab Emirates. This is another country which is very promoted in the field of blockchain technologies and in cryptocurrency exchanges. I think there we gonna increase our influence. I mean, in United Arab Emirates.
Okay.
Both countries are very good for cryptocurrency exchanges. Very good.
Yeah. No, because I noticed that Australia made some changes in the laws for the leverage for when you trade. Yeah. So, but obviously, I assume that you're using multiple exchanges around the world, not just one.
I mean, and the cryptocurrency exchanges around the world.
Yeah, I mean the different exchanges you Lumix Bit trade on. Yeah. Or are they going through an Australian exchange only?
Well, Lumix Bit company is an international top asset, company, yes. And in the future, we have plans to launch our own stock exchange. And then later, after this launch, we plan to issue our own token.
See, these are some of the questions that I was going to ask you later. Yes, definitely, because that's going to be interesting to see where you go. But let's go back to maybe the daily performance and the daily risk for Lumix Bit partners, investors, things like this. We discussed how you trade, that you say you don't really like trading robots. You prefer manual trading because they don't compensate for what can happen, especially like things in Ukraine, US dollars, things like this. Is that still your position?
Well, honestly saying, artificial intelligence is not available to Lumix Bit company. We are categorically against artificial intelligence. Why? Because artificial intelligence ignores the human factors. Let me give you one simple but bright example. Hollywood movies, Terminator 1. There is, the fight between artificial intelligence, yes, who is represented by famous Hollywood actor, you know the name, and then the human intelligence. And of course, finally, human intelligence wins. Then let me give you a more impressive pattern. Last month, the events in Kazakhstan showed that some people, bad guys, they appeared on the streets. Yes, it influenced very badly. It hurt their mining farms. And finally, it cost 17% of drawdown of cryptocurrency exchanges there. Our professional team didn't focus the whole events, but in the very beginning of this, it took away all investments of our partners from Kazakhstan. That helped us very much. I mean, the professional team of Lumix Bit company.
Yeah. No, I'm very interested because obviously I've been trading myself also, both some manual trading, but definitely more on the EA and robot trading. And yes, obviously you need to have a look and see what other news around the world, because it will affect it for sure. So, and the EAs are not always good for this, definitely. So, and that brings me to the next point here. You have launched the live trading, which is excellent for a lot of people. They can now look and see what is Lumix been doing, what type of cryptocurrency are you guys involved in. Can you maybe tell us a bit more about the trading platform that we now can all see?
Well, you can see that live trading platform of Lumix Bit company shows how the company works. It shows all the deals. It shows the daily turnover of the company. It makes our partners easier to see what's happening.
Yeah, I noticed one of the things when I went through the platform here also, that it looks like there's a market about 5 minutes with either buying or selling. But I assume
we are developing our live trading platform. We are developing this.
Yeah. So, but I assume that it's not necessarily a new deal every 5 minutes, but it's basically every 5 minutes the trading is being picked up. I assume there could even be some delays, yeah, due to you don't want people to basically copy the trading that you are doing.
Yeah,
okay.
I agree with you. You're right.
yeah, but anyway, it gives us an insight to it, obviously, to see exactly what is going on. Yeah,
Yeah, you
I
see
had a
that
look at the.
our live trading platform makes easier to see our trading strategies.
Yeah,
you can find the whole information there, or the whole statistics.
exactly. No, I looked at it again this morning, and obviously there's a couple of things that stands out is that, yeah, you're not winning all the time. There's definitely also some big losses. And that's the great thing, that if you're in Lumix Bit as a partner, you can actually sleep calm because you don't see all this up and down, yeah, where all the traders do, and it's not for everybody. But what impresses me here, and I just pulled out the numbers from this morning. Congratulations, you have just managed 150 million. It just turned over while I was in there for the trading balance, and that's quite impressive. And if we look back at the numbers, so in the last 24 hours, you went up about 4.7%. And that is massive, yeah. In the last 7 days, you went up 30%, and in the last 30 days, 150. I mean, 150, your trading balance was 57 million, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a dream come true for sure, for both yourself, I'm sure, and definitely for all my partners here also, I can tell you. So, so what are you then? We're all talking about the risk here also, yeah. So because everything looks quite well, trading balance is growing rapidly. Obviously, what are the biggest risks in Lumix Bit as you see it?
Well, Lumix Bit company gives 100% of guarantee, you know, but in the case of the default of the company, we are backed by Australian authorities. I mentioned these abbreviations. Yeah. We have our reserved fund, and this reserved fund stays under the control of Australian authorities. And finally, these Australian authorities, they give 100% of guarantee. But honestly saying, Lumix Bit gonna live so long as cryptocurrency lives. I mean that we have plans for the next 5 and 7 years. We are backed by the authorities, by financial regulators of Australia. Yeah. I mean, this is the guarantee of the government of the country.
So no, I get that, and that's definitely what the investors also wants to hear. Yeah. One of the things that I noticed that when investors are now buying new investment packages, it's quite astonishing that we can actually get in 24 hours, we can get our first profits out. It's quite unheard of in many other platforms. Yeah. How are you able to make sure that the amount of money that comes into this trading is being used as much as possible to gain the percentage you have?
We guarantee the minimized percentage, minimized. So minimized percentage from 0.7 till 3%. But at the same time, Lumix Bit company generates profits only from altcoins up to 60% per day. Then from venture funds up to 40% per day. And from spot trading, in the case if conditions are the best, up to 20%. This is our policy, you know.
Okay, I was not aware of that. Yeah, yeah. So there is a spread, yeah. So, but I mean, looking at the different platforms and many I promoted myself before, I see a lot of investors. They go in with $50, $100, and sometimes even a couple of thousand. But what I noticed here is there's a high degree of confidence with the Lumix Bit platform from very early on, where I've seen investors invest 5, 10, and even 100,000. There seems to be a great confidence in this. But at the same time, if a lot of investors put in $100,000, how do your traders, make sure that those $100,000 are going into making profit straight away?
Well, that's because of the policy. We have very aggressive trading strategies. Then we have the professional team which creates them. And of course, this professional team works with the whole data. It can make very good forecast. And so then finally it can minimize all the risks. Of course, sometimes the company has losses, but in this case, we can compensate losses from our reserve funds and from our investments in altcoins and venture funds. Okay. We have a very balanced policy.
Yeah, yeah. So you are spread out also to minimize the risk. So as such. So because it is quite a high return, yeah. So when you look at it and you look at other trading platforms, I mean, I did some very good investments also with robot trading, maybe 30% a month. But obviously you are doing even better, yeah. So you are confident you can keep this high percentage over long periods of time, as you mentioned.
High percentage.
As I said, you are confident that you can continue this high percentage payout for the investors.
Well, this is again our policy, as I mentioned.
Yeah. So when we talk about risk and everything else, is there something that you can tell the investors, you know, the risk we talked about already? It's also backed up from the Australian government here, yeah, that they will go in also and cover part of the risk. So, but how safe is it to enter LumexBit if you had to convince a new investor to come on with LumexBit here today?
We are ready to pay such percents on the long term because of the whole policy of the company. You can see our capital, that's 900 million American dollars, you know. Then we are backed, we stay under the control of Australian authorities. That's a very important moment. And our reserve fund stays under the control of ASIC and APRA. We plan to develop our company. We are gonna live so long as cryptocurrency lives.
Yeah, and hopefully that will be for a long time. Yeah, I think that's the biggest risk to any company.
This is our business model. This is our business model. I mean, the business model of LumexBit.
Yeah. No, this is a usual question that I get from a lot of different crypto investments. You know, how safe is it? And I normally mention here that's saying, well, cryptocurrency, I believe, is here to stay. But obviously, there is a chance that it could be gone tomorrow if everybody decides that they don't want to do this anymore. But looking at the players that actually have and carry a lot of the cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, is obviously, even though it's also China, it's US and many billionaires, yeah. So I don't believe it's going to fail, yeah. Basically, too many people have too much invested to do this, but obviously you never know what's going to happen. So, but that's what you see. The biggest risk is basically what's going to happen with cryptocurrency in the future.
Yeah. Well, that's very good question.
Yeah.
Of course, well, I pay very big attention to the professionalism of the team of LumexBit company. And I think that the cryptocurrency market gonna live a very long time. It's sustainable. It's sustainable. Because let me mention again the events which happened in Kazakhstan. Yeah, that was the dread dawn, yeah. But now we can see there some kind of recovery of the cryptocurrency market.
Yeah.
And I think that it's very sustainable. It's very sustainable.
Yeah. You also mentioned a couple of times here, so the guarantee, and I know also there's guarantee letters that investors will receive. I understand it's normally from when you have invested more than $50,000 in there. But I even heard numbers as low as 25,000. Maybe you can clarify a bit.
In the case if the partner open his deposit, which starts from 25,000 American dollars, we can sign with this partner our insurance policy contract. This is insurance policy contract gives 100% of guarantee that the money will be returned in the case of the default of LumexBit. But the default of LumexBit is impossible because the foundation of LumexBit company is cryptocurrency exchanges, you know, and that's very important that this is the policy of Australian government to support cryptocurrency exchanges. Well, if the amount of personal deposit contract starts from 50,000 American dollars, due to the correlation of the crypto assets market by the legal department and the security authorities in Australia, this was reduced by 2 times. And signing of the reserve fund, the rate of the total capitalization of the crypto assets market was 2 times more.
Okay. So when a new investor wants to have this document here also, is it enough to invest over multiple packages, 20, 25 or 50,000, or does he have to do one big investment? Is there a difference?
Yes, all the partners will receive this contract from 25,000 American dollars, which starts from 25,000 American dollars.
No matter if this is spread on one account or he has multiple investment accounts. I mean, multiple packages he's bought.
Well, the money from one deposit. From one deposit. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Because I believe I'm actually at about 25,000 now, but obviously different packages at a couple of thousand at a time as you build up the platform, yeah. So and the returns. So, but anyway, I will try definitely to get there, yeah. So that is one of my goals.
Yeah.
One of the questions also: are you working for an app for the platform? Is that something that will come?
Yes. My IT specialists, they are working on 2 applications, one app for iOS, another for Android, and the second one, I think, will be ready within a month.
Within a month, okay.
Yes, for Android.
So let's say we're looking at end of March. There's a chance that that will be ready, yeah. So we're almost end of February now. So okay, sounds very interesting, yeah. So let's have a look a bit about the future for LumexBit. I know you already opened up a bit on this, and we are all very excited to figure out exactly what's gonna happen, what's gonna come. So what can we expect from LumexBit coming in the future years here?
So the company has grandiose plans for this year. At first, we're gonna found our trading school, and I think it will happen early in the autumn. Trading school for our partners, different types of trading, sport trading, then cryptocurrency exchanges. Except this, we plan to open approximately 30 offices around the world, our representative offices. Then we're gonna provide conferences where we're gonna develop our relationships with our partners. And I think that the first one will happen in the United Arab Emirates, maybe in April this year. You know, this is the way how company is coming from very narrow circle, confidential club, to the very open company. Then we are negotiating with the authorities of Australia to implement Visa, SWIFT, and MasterCard payment methods. Why? Because right now we pay very big commissions. The money which comes from the accounts of LumexBit to cryptocurrency exchanges and back, they are very expensive. I mean, the commissions are very expensive, and that's better for us to minimize them. That's better for both sides. Yeah. Well, Except this, we gonna increase our influence in United Arabian Emirates. We're gonna create our very strong leverage because this is the country, as I mentioned, which is the leadership in the quantum trading area and on the blockchain technologies market. And of course, this is a leader in cryptocurrency exchanges. That's very important for Lumix Bit company to create very strong leverage there, because that means the influence in this part of the Asia. Then we have plans to create the projects which refer to NFT and metaverse, but this is not for this year.
Okay, yeah, I think everybody is looking at the metaverse to see what they exactly can do, and I think it'll be a big thing for sure. Yeah, so a lot of them are looking at that. There's plenty of money to be had out there for this. Yeah. You mentioned also a bit earlier you wanted to introduce your own coin at one point.
Yes, maybe after the company will launch the cryptocurrency exchange, we will issue our token, but not this year.
Okay. So this event that might happen here in April also, yeah. So if this event that you say will happen for the partners, is there a certain level of partners who will be invited first time, or can anybody basically join that has invested in Lumix Bit?
Well, the company is open for everybody. We don't have any restrictions.
Okay, that sounds good. Even for the small investors, if they can come and obviously see the business.
We are interested.
Yeah.
To expand our own business, to develop our business model.
Yeah. So it looks like you have plenty of things. I mean, we're talking about crypto, we're talking about the DeFi markets. Are you developing into other areas too, apart from obviously setting up the offices, and the metaverse is part of this? Is there any other parts that at the moment Lumix Bit is looking into?
You mean DeFi?
Yeah.
Well, you see that the company is the foundation of the company is cryptocurrency exchanges, and the company stays under the control of ASIC.
Yeah.
That's why we can't enter DeFi right now, or maybe in a year.
Okay.
We have such plans. We are working on them.
And you mentioned also your own crypto exchange, basically in the future.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think a lot of people
not till the end of this year.
I think a lot of people go down this road because they can see there's a lot of fees, obviously, in crypto. Everybody that has tried to transfer anything, it goes fast, but you pay the miners every single time, yeah. And it's a very good income.
We're gonna inform our partners step by step, you know.
Yeah. So I mean, you have already given us a very good overview now of what's to come to Lumix Bit. I mean, to me, it sounds absolutely excellent here. So, and I'm happy to be a great part of this. As I said, I started only end of December, so, and we have seen so much progress here with Lumix Bit in a short period of time. No, I wanted to say thank you very much for taking the time to speak to me today.
Thank you for your coming, Mr. Bo.
Definitely, it was a pleasure again. So to catch up with you and to listen to what Lumix Bit's gonna do for us in the future. So after this video, I have no doubt a lot more partners will have even more confidence that they already have in the business here. Yeah. And I think we're looking forward to meeting hopefully yourself in April.
Yeah,
or maybe whenever you will have the first opening seminar. Yeah.
I respect you very much. I see you are a very serious partner, Mr. Bo. You have a very strong point of view. That's my pleasure to talk to you something about Lumix Bit, to show you something.
So I appreciate that. Thank you very much, Nicholas, for today, and I'm sure we'll be in touch very soon again.
Yes, right. Thank you very much.
So there you have it. So most of all our questions was answered. We really appreciated the time that Nicholas Hartman took just to answer our questions, as obviously everybody wants to know exactly what is going on with Lumix Bit. What are the short-term plans, what are the long-term plans. We are quite happy with a lot of the replies and responses we've gotten, so we'll definitely continue to build on this, and we are looking forward to some of all the new things that he has aired out for us here today. It'll be interesting, hopefully also to meet up in the next couple of months and see a bit more of the team. So for this time around, thank you very much and see you on the next video. Bye-bye.